Good evening and welcome to RaceKraft Simulations as we bring you the SRT Trackmasters Academy GT1 Series round number 4. We go to 1975 Spielberg, Austria. The place that is now the Red Bull Ring was once about twice the size and twice as fast, and in GT1 cars it doesn't get better than this. We're doing it in what is mostly a field of Porsche 911 GT1 cars. At the moment, we're at Spielberg 1974, and currently Ray Oliver is the fastest man on track with 137.40. Well, it's Ray Mangano, sorry, I stand corrected. Ray Mangano, he'd kill me for that too. He's going to come get me for sure. Ray Mangano is the fastest on track. Jonas Sita in the second by half a tenth of a second, 0.57 to be exact here. Back there in second, then it's Alexani in the third spot. V-Race 3, we're assuming, is Cameron Edwards in P4. 9 in P5, so we're just having a couple of minor little lock-up issues with our network right now. Josh Cochran in the 6th spot. He's having a good run here as he makes his way down the long straight before he hangs it through to the left and tucks it into the bowl, I believe. And please bear with us while we deal with these little internet glitches as we follow a whole field of GT1s around the circuit right now. Currently Tom Hamlet rounding out the top 10 on a 131.7 as he makes his way into the hard right-hander down to third gear, maybe even leaving the car in fourth as he come out of the right-hander. So the 1975 circuit, 5.9 kilometers in distance. The 1976 variation was changed ever so slightly before they added a chicane in 77 at the end of the front straight. You can see the chicane when we run the track, but we aren't forced to go through it as we follow Tommy Hamlet through the left-hander at the moment, coming out of Texaco before he hits the right-hander on the way down to Rund Curve to make a run at another lap. He's on a 131.7 as we are 11 minutes to go in qualifying. Ray Mangano on top and still circulating laps at the moment from Jonas Sita in second. Cameron Edwards in the third spot, sliding his way through the left-hander at Texaco where he makes a run back to switch into the right. Coming out of the right curve to make a run to the line. Can he go better than a 130.98? He recently joined us as the top 3 drivers dip into the 130s. Clicks across the line and does not improve on his time right now. Will stay third on that 130.98. 2.4 tenths of a second off the leader. Josh Cochran making his way down the main straight to kick off another lap. He stays on a 131.601. Bring up our split times. We should be able to see well, I was hoping the split times were going to tell us who was on what sort of lap, but doesn't give us that kind of information as we grab a very good long shot. That's a great one there. Following Jake Catlin and Alex Newton. 7th and 8th on time at the moment. This is Catlin on track. 7th fastest as he comes out of Texaco chicane with 9 minutes and 35 left to go. Still a long time left in the session for our guys to try and set themselves a lap as some of the guys have jumped out of the seat to take themselves a breather, notably Jonas Sita and Alexani. Zani's been left in P4 on a 131.014. Hasn't been able to dip it into the 1 minute 30s in the qualifying session just yet. Follow along with Cameron Edwards. Shortly he's going to be able to set himself a quicker time as he makes his way into the right-hander. Full of Armco. Out of right curve. but he's pulled it into the pit lane, so Cameron Edwards won't be having another crack at the time just yet. We'll jump on board with Pro Sim Racer Alex Newton. Hates being called a Pro Sim Racer. Secretly, he loves it. But he'll tell me he hates it and tell me to stop. As Julian Ung has gotten out of the truck and has given himself a big old stretch in the least ergonomic machine in the house here at RaceKraft Simulations. He's currently down in 13th fastest with 1:32.003. Newton on a mission to try and move forward on the starting grid here with a 17-car field so far. Tommy Hamlet looks like he got disconnected from the session. He's going to have to redo a lap with 8 minutes and 15 to go. The pressure is on for Tommy Hamlet. Tommy would much rather be battling with this man here, Cade Bell. Currently 10th fastest on track on a 1:31.777 with a bit of traffic around him as one of the Porsches comes flying up behind. Alex Newton sailing up behind him and making a run as they head through the Texaco chicane. Six minutes and 45 left to go in qualifying so far. We follow along Cade Bell trying to set himself a faster lap here. Anthony Jewell has been unable to set himself a lap as he rejoins on the exit of the pit lane and comes out to try and go faster in this session. Julesy is a long way off where he would like to be. Usually a contender in the top 5 has been unable to go faster than the 1:31.993. I think he was faster in practice when I drove his car. So Julesy needs to set himself a time as Tommy Hamlet just knocks him down a spot. A 1:31.920 for Tommy Hamlet puts him into 12th. Julesy down with Julian Ung in 13th and 14th at the moment. 1:31.993 and a 1:32.003 for Julian. The second of our two Jonasitas showing up in the session. We'll find out who that is. Five minutes to go in qualifying here for GT1s at Spielberg 1974. The 5.9 kilometre flat out circuit where you never get below third gear at any point in the lap, even in a GT1 car that are geared to absolutely sail down the straights. Lapping in the 130s to 131s, and Julesy has the back end out and singing as he flies through the right-hander all the way out into the marbles, even dropping a wheel off into the grass to try and gain some advantage here before he makes that long run towards Texaco. Oh, sorry, now he's down Valvoline Gerard on the way to the Bosch curve. It kicks to the left, then dives to the right. Plenty of banking around the long right-hander before he makes a run through the middle to Texaco. A stab of the brake at 50 metres, click it down 2 gears, roll a long way into the corner and squeeze on the power for a short amount of time before you're hard on the brakes again, pulling it up for the tighter left-hander, trying not to run yourself too wide as you set yourself up for the right-hander of the run down towards right curve. Down the hill and then cresting right at the Texaco sign. The run towards right, very important as you try and set the car up for the best possible run down the main straight. Julesy running it all the way out to the edge of the circuit. Almost showing the Armco a little bit of love before he makes his way down the main straight. And boom, there's a lap from Julesy at 1:31.5. Bumps him up into P6. Picked himself up 0.4 of a second to jump over the top of that midfield of Newton, Cochrane, Hamlet, Catlin, Cullen and Bell. A great run there from Anthony Jewell to move up the order. We'll see if he can have one more tilt at it with 3 minutes and 15 to go. He's sideways through the right-hander at the two-rock curve before he makes his run down Valvoline. In the long run, you stick to the left for quite a while before you tuck it back across to the right-hand side and open up the fast left-hander. But what's going on here? Julesy's reset himself to the pit lane, I believe. And we seem to be losing all the cars as Alex Newton comes into the pit lane. So we were picking up with Julesy going down Valvoline, but it looks like he did reset himself to the pit lane as he makes his way into Tirok Curve. Dipping it into fourth gear and carrying the speed as much as you can. He's having one final tilt at a flying lap here. He's gone for a fresh set of tyres to try and get the maximum out of him. And he's on a slow lap to try and build some momentum here as he starts to run out of the time. 2 minutes and 10 left in the session. Can Anthony Jewell make a run for the top 5 on the starting grid here? Everyone else has conceded the fact that we're not going to break underneath the 1:30 mark right now. As Julesy rolls his way around the circuit at the Bosch curve before he's going to make a final tilt at a flying lap here with 1:45 left on the clock. He'll get there in time to get this one done. Have to see what Julesy has. Brodie Cullen making his way up the main straight to start off a final attempt at a lap on a 1:31.6 at the moment. 1/10 of a second behind Julesy, but sits 9th with Julesy in the 6th spot. Julesy making his way out of Texaco. We'll go to Tommy Hamlin, still trying to set himself a lap here as he makes his way out of Bosch. Rolling towards the Texaco chicane. Tommy Hamlet on for a run here, currently 10th in order on a 1:31.6, trying to bump his way forward. Julesy will check on him as he comes off the end of the main straight and had a lick, and on his way up all the way up the hill to the Tirok curve on a final tilted lap. He's not going to get a chance to start another lap again, so this is one final attempt here for Julesy, and he's trying to get a tow from the cars in front of him. Ahead of him, he's got the 9 car, and ahead of them is V-Race 3 parked up on the side of the road. And Julesy making his way into Bosch curve, trying to check things up to see if he can go better than a 1:31.5. As the timer has expired on our qualifying session. Julesy's even got the lights on, trying to set a time. Into the right-hander and trying to make a run at the top 5 for the final time. Down towards the right curve. And a run towards the start-finish line for Julesy. Is it going to be any better to push him further up the grid across the line? And no, it won't be. He'll stay on a 1:31.5, and that will set our grid. So here's a look at the times as I have them from the broadcasting unit. Raymond Garno on the pole spot. Jonas Seiter on second with the 1:30.797. 0.5 of a second covers your front row. The V-Race 3 of Cam Edwards on third with a 130.882. Arcade 3 of Alexani on a 131.014. 9 on P5 with a 131.04. Anthony Jewell, P6 on a 131.5 from Alex Newton on P7, a 131.58. Josh Cochran, P8. Brody Cullen, P9. Tommy Hamlet in the 10 spot from Jack Catlin, Kate Bell, Julian Ung. V-Race 1 entry, Jonah Sita and General Peschke lining up on your starting grid. It's a half an hour race around Spielberg from 1974 in GT1 cars here at RaceKraft Simulation for the SRT Trackmasters Academy GT1 Championship round number 4. Alright, so folks, if you're watching, unfortunately we've had another one of these lovely mechanical or technical issues where we didn't have control of the session. So we are going to reset and we're going to get underway in just a moment. John Lee is going to set up a new session here. And I'm going to jump out of things on this screen. And we'll sit tight and wait. Johnny Lee's going to set up a new session. We're going to do a 5-minute thrash for qualifying to set the grid before we go racing for half an hour. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back from RaceKraft Simulations for the SRT Trackmasters Academy GT1 Championship round number 4. Well, after a bit of a pandemonium moment, and sitting around and hoping the server decided to work, everyone's gone and jumping into a server, but the server doesn't really want to play ball at the moment. So I think we may be set for some more troubles here. I don't want to put the mockers on everyone, but it does seem like it doesn't want to play ball. So we've had the instruction from Johnny is for everyone to get out. We're going to try and reset this network gear and get this race underway. We're going to shut down the live and we'll bring up a new one in a few moments. Sorry for the issues from RaceKraft Simulations. Sometimes the internet just doesn't want to play a ball. So we'll bring you the resumption of racing in a few moments. Keep an eye out for the new link to go up on the RaceKraft Simulations